All right. Hello, everybody. Omnigamer here. We're going to get ready in some Metal Warriors, but first, just some quick setup tests. This is boring but mildly important for me. Just real quick, all the controls seem like they should. Get our name set up. Just going to be PCF today. PCF against the forces of evil here. And cutscenes off. All very important things. All right. And yeah, after this, I'm just going to go into the title, and I'll explain a lot of what's going on once we're actually into the game. That's the hope anyways. But yeah, we're going to get to see some high-flying metal action coming up. All right, so if we are all set, I can do countdown whenever. Okay. So let's do on 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So right away, we're off to some RNG start. Actually, that's excellent luck. That is exactly what I need here. There are a number of boxes throughout the entire game that will be random, and 90% of those I want rockets. Rockets is kind of like the universal get through obstacles faster mechanism, and any opportunity that I have to get through that, I want to take it. But the rest, I want to cover some of the basics here. Uh-oh. Okay. We're a mech. We're going through the main controls that you've got available to you, just the vernier, which is a constant boost, but you've also got regular shot. There's a little lightsaber, and actually I don't feel too bad calling it a lightsaber. This is actually a LucasArts game. And that kind of rounds out your initial abilities. But in addition to that, there's going to be 4 or 5 other mechs all the way through, and each one has its own kind of special properties. Right now we're in what's called the Nitro, and the Nitro is kind of the standard flying mech. Okay. That one's a fixed rocket, so not any luck involved there. Okay. Something you might notice, there's not a HUD in the game, so how I'm able to track my health at any given time is actually all based on the color of my mech. And it'll gradually kind of get more dull up until getting to almost like a gray, dark purple. And at that point, well, I'm in trouble because it's only a couple more damage phases down. But it's kind of a neat concept for a game in this era. Uh-oh. Yeah, we made it. Each one of these stages has kind of a different goal attached to it. In that one, I just needed to get to a specific spot in the pilot form, which is one of the unique things on this is that, yeah, you're not just stuck in the mech. You can get out, you can kind of go around as a pilot and go for... Oh, I'll take a 2. Those were 2 lucky chests. I did not get the... I didn't get the rockets that I was looking for, but number 2 is actually a rare drop on that. It's still pretty good, so I'm going to do the best that I can with it. Normally, I'd go down earlier and try to take out this guy, but well, I've got the 2-shot. I'm going to try to make the best use of it. What's going to go on in this stage, there's a sequence where I'm supposed to defend some generators. Ain't nobody got time for that. So instead, we're going to just book it to the next objective and hope that we're fast enough that it's not going to bite us. This is actually fairly tight to get through, so I need to pay attention to all the right visual cues. And just like the good old Mega Man, there's a pause trick where anytime that you're paused and you've got an active hitbox out, it will just do continuous damage. So that actually doesn't come in as many places as you'd think, but especially right here, it helps to not only stop the rest of the mission from going on, but I can go through and take care of all those turrets in time to be able to continue the stage before the generators blow up that I neglected. I'm going to let some donations go through this stage. It's actually a really complicated stage, but I'm probably the only person in the world who understands it to a degree that matters. So go right ahead.
No worries, I'll keep going until you let me know. We have a $50 donation from Faust. GDQ time is best time. Thanks to everyone for all the hard work, especially right now. We have a $5 donation here from Mary, longtime watcher, first-time donator. Greetings from Germany, and good luck to all the runners. We also have a $25 anonymous donation with no comment, but again, very generous. Thank you so much for your donation. And a $20 donation from Cabbage with no comment, but again, very generous. Thank you so much. Time for a few more?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, no worries. We have a $25 donation here from Jalik. Metal Warriors is such a hidden gem for the SNES. What a pleasure to witness an actual AGDQ run of the game. How'd you like it? Thank you so much for your donation.
Okay, so we're coming up on the end. Really, what I needed to do through this entire sequence is there's a whole bunch of enemies that spawn in a very particular order and at a very particular distance away from me. And yeah, there's just a complicated sequence of being able to take them out in the right order to do it fast enough. And I fell out of sequence a little bit there, but we made it through all the same. Something else that I didn't mention earlier, you actually gain control of yourself well before the screen fades in all the way. So it's very important that I actually remember all the time what's going on. And we got actually lucky. That is the bomb skip. That is actually a random skip based on the trajectory that the bombs send me. And there's a very complicated thing going on in the background that determines whether or not the bombs send me in the right way. But for the sake of argument, just consider it random. And that actually should let me finish this stage one cycle sooner. This is a fairly complicated stage, but it's also the first stage where we're going to get to see any sort of like a boss character. All right. A huge amount of the strategies in this game all revolve around manipulating the enemies, and they are actually pretty dangerous. A lot of times, even it wouldn't be surprising if I take a death somewhere in this run, just because some enemies are not really within the realm of perfect manipulation. But we made it. We're all set. We're going to take care of this gun in just a moment from within. Oops. But there we go. That's one giant gun down. And that entire stage is on a cycle just based on when that gun is firing. So we made it through in kind of the second fastest possible, but I've only ever gotten the first fastest like twice, so wouldn't count on it. Now we're on to the first of the build stages, and I called it a build stage because there's actually these intros typically that'll go through, and this stage is actually composed of 3 different segments, whereas all the other ones were just a single stage by themselves. There's a lot of subtle movement tricks that are going through. You might not be able to catch a lot of them, but any time that I'm about to land, for example, I need to send out the vernier a little bit when I'm in nitro. That'll stop any sort of landing animation, but also just prepare me for doing any sort of next swap. This is our first introduction to Ballistic, which is near uncontrollable, but is actually a fair bit of fun once we're into it. I think this is the only opportunity that you'll see him in the game. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to set up something for the next stage. Get in, Spider. Get out of Spider. And there we go. ECF is entering the base. Spider itself, another interesting mech, climbs on everything, as a spider would, but probably what you can't tell is that every time I climb onto an upper surface, my controls actually reverse. So it's rather tricky to kind of get a handle on exactly what you need to be doing anytime that you're going around. Like I was holding left through that entire sequence while I was on the ceiling. But Spider has some very important uses, and I'm sure you'll see those in just a moment. This is normally a very long stage. There's a lot of areas underground where you have to mess with things, but luckily, Spider has a couple hidden abilities, such as that. And that takes out a hefty portion of the stage. It was one of the things that, if you caught the interview earlier, that's one of the things that I learned from watching some of those, I think they were Brazilian videos actually, detailing some of the tricks related to individual mechs. One more. There we go. And a zip up through the stage, skipping the boss, getting right to our objective, the Drach, which is this experimental all-flying craft. And then into the first real major risk. I need to get a very good manipulation of one of the enemies later on, or else it's basically just redo the stage. We'll see. Right here. Come on. There it goes. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, so another unforgiving thing about this is that there are continues, and there isn't any sort of stage select, so it's pretty unlikely that we'd get into a state where I'm not able to finish right now, but just to keep in mind, like, there's always risk with this run, but for the most part, I should still be able to complete anything coming through, and there's time built into the estimate for a death or two. All right, now we get in the Drach and fly away, and that's the completion for this stage. And we have another opportunity in the next stage to pick up some more rockets for great luck. We'll talk about the Drach a little bit more later. There's a really unique quirk with it. Okay, so we got the 3-shot. 3-shot is very... Oh gosh, and they gifted me rockets, thank goodness. 3-shot is very important because it is able to dissolve the terrain here. But that was another lucky rockets, and it allows us to take this middle path where otherwise we would need to do quite a bit different. Oops. Get in there. Okay. But the 3-shot is given to you for free in this stage. It's actually in a couple different locations, just because they do expect you to be shooting through all these buildings. Okay. First half of the stage done. And now we get into kind of a unique special boss stage where we're fighting these Axis worms. And this is actually something that I discovered recently when I was working on a hitbox viewer for the game, is that when they take it into their second damage phase, they open up this little area here, and curiously, it had a hitbox. So investigating it a little closer, you can actually quickly get through the rest of their damage phases without having to mess with it by just going for that. It's not worth it on this second worm. Okay. You can very easily get crushed here if you do the wrong thing. Another pause trick just to make sure I'm in the right damage loop. Okay. And this should be good. Whee! All right, we're coming up on the final few stages, and they get a little bit more creative with what's going on. This is another infiltration. We're getting in to steal some special plans, but this is also a stage where we're gonna... Oh, gosh. 5. Okay, so this is a little touchy. I might get killed by a little officer down here. Sure did. I was just a couple pixels away from getting in. I took an extra hit from Bazooka Joe. Fortunately, really hurts. Time loss isn't so bad right there, but normally he's supposed to get killed off. I guess I missed a shot. 5. That guy, always a trooper helping me out, getting rid of that turret ahead of time. All right, we got the command key. And now they've actually locked down the entire building. So that little entrance that I came in is no longer accessible. It's completely blocked off. And even though I've tried everything I can think of, there is not any good way to zip out of it, sadly. So something else about the Drotch, and I don't know why this came up with their development. Ooh, very good bomb luck. Again, those bombs will boost you in a random direction. They boosted me up, which is ideal. It's a shame that we're already downtime from a couple deaths. But every time that the Drotch does its dive attack, it recovers half of the HP in its current damage phase, which just means that you're basically invincible so long as you can continue to spam the dive attack. Okay. I have to be very careful there. Uh-oh. Still going to be very careful. I normally would not have taken the Drotch back up there, but I alerted that guy down at the bottom, and he could very well have ended me. But yeah, the mission queue a little bit off from where it should be, so I don't need to open up that last gate. I am fine with that. Okay, so this is technically the last stage. Oops. We have discovered a soft lock. So that's that, I suppose. I don't have a way to get back here. There is not a stage select. Dang. So that's unfortunate. This is the second to last segment. There'd be one more long stage after this where you go all around, show off fighting the final boss. This was a risk. I was not aware of this particular soft lock in the past, but dang. There's some other things that could have happened. My controls could have gotten remapped somewhere in the middle of the run, which is terrible. They start becoming things like square and S if you go back to the controls. But alas, was not to be. But yeah, so I guess we've learned something now. Unfortunately, I can't show the completion of the run. I hope that if you were enjoying it up to this point, that you can go and find the video somewhere else, catch up on the latest and greatest strats as we go through. Yeah, I'm sorry that we couldn't show the complete run today, but alas, just how it goes sometimes. But in any case, hope you enjoyed everything up to that point. But yeah, this is Omnigamer. Thanks a bunch for watching up, and check out some Metal Warriors elsewhere when you get the chance. Yeah, and of course, thanks everybody for watching GDQ. Donate to PCF. Keep all that rolling. We got 500K in sight, and yeah, I think we'll probably take it back to break now. Sorry again.
Thank you so much, Omnigamer, for that run of Metal Warriors. Unfortunate about the soft lock there, but it was still a fantastic showing. Let's get some GDQ claps in the chat there for Omnigamer. We had a lot of love come through donations as well for that run of Metal Warriors. We had a $25 donation from TBG. Just had to donate for Metal Warriors, one of my favorite games on the SNES in grade school, back when dinosaurs still roamed the earth. I'm excited to see the game being exploited past the point of recognition. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. Remember to stay hydrated. Thank you so much. Here's a nice one. We have a $20 donation here from Luna Manar. Metal Warriors was a game I rented back in the early 90s by accident, after mistaking it for Mech Warrior. At first, I was disappointed that it wasn't the game I thought it was, but I found myself playing it for hours and renting it multiple times to play versus mode with my friend across the street. We had a lot of laughs at all the weird shenanigans you could pull off with each of the different mechs, especially the ball and spider ones. A few weeks later, the rental store let me buy the game off them for cheap, and many more hours and good memories were had. I was so distracted with it, I never did get around to playing Mech Warrior on the SNES. I love this little SNES gem, and was both surprised and delighted to see it on the schedule at AGDQ 2022, and even happier it's being done in the name of a great cause. Looking forward to seeing this already very broken and entertaining game made even more broken and entertaining. Well, I think Omnigamer did a great job there. Thank you so much for your donation. And actually, chat, let me know, what was your favorite mech that you saw? A lot of crazy mechs flying around the screen there. More love coming in for Metal Warriors. We have Lost Pause with $150 who says, "Hey Omnigamer, so happy to see your speedruns at another GDQ. Thanks for such great gameplay and commentary." We have a $250 donation here from Jason Costi. "Love everything you are all doing. We need to come together in these times, and what better way to do it than a GDQ? Here's $250 to get entered into those grand prizes." Thank you very much for your generous donation, and just a reminder about those grand prizes. For $250 in cumulative donations across the marathon, the two grand prizes we have are the Heroic Replicas Zelda Grand Prize Pack and the Skytech Gaming Mark 9 Custom Gaming PC. Be sure to check those out if you are interested in them. Okay, everyone, we're going to go to a quick break, but do not go anywhere. AGDQ 2022 will be right back right after these messages. Welcome back to AGDQ 2022. We have time to squeeze in one more donation before our next run. We have a $20 donation from Mish. Let's kick cancer to the curb with cold hard cash and fast times. Keep up the good work. And with that, we are ready for our next run. It is time for some Metroidvania platforming action. It is Astalon Tears of the Earth by Strizer86. Let's go.